Most of these.
How are you?
I have different ideas of what's facetious.
Yes, it
Oh,
is.
It's cold in here.
I've never seen it. Okay.
I got another shirt under this one.
Not used to iPads.
Oh my gosh, is it cold?
Got it? Yeah. Mike, you're gonna.
All right, welcome, everybody. We are returning from executive session, which ended at 6:46 and no action was taken. So we will move on to the next item on the agenda, which is the approval of the agenda. So can I have a motion and a second to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Minutes of the previous meeting. May I have a motion and a second to approve the minutes?
A comment on the minutes.
Yeah, your microphone is moved.
Oh, it's not. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
So both on the reorg meeting minutes and the voting meeting in July. So I made the motion I nominated Danielle for vice president, and it's recorded in there. But my little spiel that I worked hard on was not added. So I'd like to have that added if that's possible. I don't think it offends anybody.
Yep, we can add that.
We can have, okay, I have it here, so I'll pass it on to the board secretary. And on the voting meeting, I kind of after the fact realized that I missed an opportunity to pull out one item on the agenda. And for none other reason than I thought it was my duty to have the opportunity to do two things: have the full contract of the superintendent, and two, have had gone through an evaluation or our annual evaluation of the superintendent. And nothing more than that. I don't know that we did that, and I didn't have the opportunity. So I think it's my duty to, if I'm not prepared to vote one way or the other, I should abstain. So I'd like the record or make a note in the minutes that I meant to or I intended to abstain from letter L in the voting section. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so regarding the minutes that we have, do I have a motion to approve those?
So moved.
And a
Second.
second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I
All right, that motion carries. Communications, anybody have any communications they'd like to share?
I'll start, if you don't mind. I did have a couple people reach out to me. A couple teachers reached out concerned about class sizes. I'm sure we all received similar emails. And there was one other thing. I apologize. I'll let others go. Let me come back.
I would like to say for the record that I received no emails from any teachers this month.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Anyone else? Any additional things?
No, actually, it was just teachers concerned about class sizes,
Okay.
which I know we'll be addressing.
All right, next item is unfinished business. We have none. And I will turn this over to the superintendent for his report.
Thank you, Mr. Leibel. We're going to start tonight with Mr. Feldman reporting on tax rates.
Thank you and good evening, everybody. It is our annual time of year where we set tax rates for the coming school year. Tax rates are the rate per thousand that people pay on taxes. So it's always a good conversation to set kind of the parameters of what tax levy is versus tax rate. Tax levy is the total amount of property taxes to be collected by the district. We developed that during the district budget process. The property tax cap applies to the levy, and the tax levy, state aid, other local revenue, and fund balance reserves finance the budget to operate the district. Our tax levy for 2026-27 is $56,283,605. That is an increase of $1.7 million, or a percentage increase of 3.3%, which falls below the New York State mandated tax cap of 3.3%, which meant that back in May, our budget only needed a simple majority to pass, which it did. So next slide, please, Dr. Genestri. The tax rate is the rate per thousand of an assessed value that is needed to attain the tax levy. So the rates help us raise that $56.2 million in tax levy monies. There are several things that do affect the tax rate. These variables include the amount of tax levy, which, as you know, is $56.2 million. The total assessed value of real property in each of our townships, both Amherst and Town of Tonawanda. Those assessed values are set by the assessor in each of the towns. And then the equalization rate, it's basically each town's share of the tax levy. That's determined by the state. The Town of Amherst tax levy for the 26-27 school year is 90%. That is down 9% from the previous school year. And the Town of Tonawanda equalization rate is 20%, down from 21% in 25-26. And we'll talk about equalization rates here on the next slide.
Mr. Feldman, why did that go down 10%? I thought we were doing good. We're the 99%.
Well, here's an explanation for you right here. So an equalization rate is New York State's measure of a municipality's level of assessment. So it's the total assessment value of the municipality plus the total market value of the municipality equals the equalization rate. Equalization rates are percentages. So I give you kind of examples here. If a town's equalization rate is equal to 100%, the town is assessing property at 100% of the market value, and it means most likely a reassessment was conducted in recent years. In our example here in Sweet Home, Tonawanda and Amherst, they both have equalization rates of less than 100%. That means the overall property in the town is assessed at less than the market value. So it's assessed for less than what you might sell your home for. The lower the equalization rate, the longer it has been since a reassessment has been done. I've been in the district for 25 years. I can't remember the last time the Town of Tonawanda did a reassessment.
In my house, 38 years, it hasn't happened.
Yeah, and then the Town of Amherst did a reassessment and was at 100% 2 years ago, but you can see how the real estate market is and how far off.
So does this mean an assessment is coming?
I asked the
understand
question,
all
that's a great
this.
question. I did not ask the question of the Town of Amherst because 90% means fairly recently a reassessment was done. I did ask, and I guess Scott was included on that conversation. I did ask the town clerk in the assessor's office in the Town of Tonawanda if there was a reassessment that was going to be done. And I got a one-word response, no. So I don't know if there's any time frame that is going to happen.
So
Next slide, Mike.
Don, if simplify it for me. So you have a tax levy that has to be raised and it's spread across whatever the value that the equalization rate is. So it just kind of complicates the picture.
Well, it's really essentially the share between the two townships. Um, You know, I guess to simplify it for you, why are equalization rates needed? The first point is that there's no fixed percentage at which property can be assessed at. That's set by the towns. And then not all property value, not all municipalities, I'm really struggling with that word tonight. Not all municipalities assess at the same percentage. So that needs to, the share of the wealth needs to be spread across the two townships. And then, quite frankly, we have more than one township in our district. So based upon the number of homes on the town of Amherst and properties on the town of Amherst side versus what is in our district on the town of Tonawanda side, those equalization rates make certain that if I live in the town of Amherst in a $250,000 assessed home, and you live in the town of Tonawanda in a $250,000 assessed home, our tax bill is pretty much even.
Same. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mhm. So back in May, we made some projections as we went through the budgetary process for tax bills. Back in May, we did not know the equalization rate, so the equalization rates for the town of Amherst remained at 99%, which is where it was last year. And then the Tonawanda equalization rate remained at 21%. These estimates were rates based on going to the tax cap limit of $56,283,605. That chart is for what we have determined to be an average home in the Sweet Home Central School District, which is an assessed value of $250,000. So back in May, we anticipated, or we made an estimate for the town of Amherst for a $250,000 assessed home, that the tax rate would be $10.01 per thousand. Which translated to a bill of $2,477, or a year-over-year increase of $79 million, or $79 rather.
Million.
And the Tonawanda side, in a similar home, $250,000 assessed home, we estimated a tax rate of $47.30, which translated to a bill of $2,483, or a year-over-year increase of $79. Since that time frame, obviously, we've gotten the assessments in for this coming school year. We've gotten the equalization rates, and year over year, and you'll see this in a coming slide, but year over year, the total taxable assessed values in both townships across the district rose from last year to this year by over $7 million. So based upon that information, we are making a recommendation to the board tonight for the following tax rates for the coming school year. So what we've done since we've last met in May, we've changed our assessed values to the 2026 values that were provided to us by both Erie County and the towns of Amherst and Tonawanda. The Amherst equalization rate was reduced from 99 to 90%. The Tonawanda equalization rate was reduced from 21 to 20%. And again, these are rates that are going to right to the tax cap. So for, again, an average assessed value home in the towns of Amherst and Tonawanda, assessed value $250,000. The 2026, 2027 tax rate per thousand for that home is $10.15 per thousand, which translates, based upon the raised assessments that we talked about, to a total tax bill annual of $2,284, which year over year is a decrease rather of $114. On the Tonawanda side, similar sized home with an equalization rate of 20%, We are recommending a tax rate of $45.72 per thousand, translates to a tax bill of $2,286. So you see how the two tax bills are similar across the townships, and that translates to a decrease year over year of $118. This is just, again, just a graphical representation. I won't show you or spend too much time on it, but the equalization rates for both townships. The top line, the red line, is the equalization rates for the town of Amherst. You'll see in 23, 24, the equalization rate dipped to 62%. And then in 24, 25, that's when the town did its reassessment and went back up to 100%. So in the last 3 years, we've seen a decrease of 10% in the town of Amherst. And then in the town of Tonawanda, you can see that's about a 10-year period. We started at a little bit of over 40% in 2016, 2017, and those equalization rates have steadily decreased to this year to 20%. So an equalization rate, again, for the good of the cause of 20% means that overall, the property in the town of Tonawanda is assessed at 20% of its actual market value. And these are the numbers that we've used to set the tax rates. These are what the county and the towns of Tonawanda and Amherst have given to us as total taxable assessed values. So we have two thresholds: a homestead tax value, which is for the residents of our district, and the non-homestead are obviously the retail sites in our district. So you can see kind of the breakdown from towns. On the homestead side in the town of Tonawanda, the total taxable assessed value for the 26-27 school year is $125,841,000, up about $300,000 from the year previous. The non-homestead taxable assessed value is $29.916 million, up about $100,000 in year over year. And then on the homestead side in the town of Amherst, we're at $2,034,534,000. And then on the non-homestead side, we're at $1.81 billion. So again, year over year, the total taxable assessment has gone up about $7 million across both townships. This just shows you kind of a tax levy breakdown that talks a little bit about kind of the equalization rates from that end of things to be able to show each of the towns a share of the overall tax levy. So that last column, the column furthest to the right, the proposed tax rates on the Amherst side, homestead and non-homestead, total $48,466,338 of our overall $56 million tax levy. And then on the town of Tonawanda side, we're at about $7.8 million. So you can see the share for each of the townships in our overall total tax levy. This is just kind of a graphical chart. It's a little hard to read, and I apologize. For the tax rate history over the course of time, the top line, as the green line, is town of Tonawanda. We are at a tax rate, proposed tax rate per thousand of $45.72, which is down a little bit from last year. So you can see the little decrease there. And then the bottom line, the red line, is again the town of Amherst. And you'll see kind of the schism there in 23, 24. The tax rates changed drastically in the 24, 25 school year when they did the full reassessment. So in summary, this is what we are proposing to you all tonight for your consideration for the proposed tax rates for each of our two townships for the 26-27 school year. Amherst homestead tax rate per thousand, $10.15. Amherst non-homestead tax rate per thousand, $15.58. Tonawanda homestead tax rate of $45.72 per thousand. And then the Tonawanda non-homestead tax rate of $68.98 per thousand. So if you approve this tonight, we will send this information off to both townships and to the county. And then the county helps us generate our tax bills. Tax bills will go out and they will be due back in district office by October 15th.
So if you don't send it out, we won't get tax bills.
Well, if we don't send it out, we don't, nobody gets
Fine.
tax bills, but it'd be awful hard to open school without any money in the bank.
Don, on the first slide, you had indicated a tax cap of 3.3%.
Correct.
And that's that. So we went to, I think, the maximum,
We
right?
did.
That We couldn't go any further. Well, I mean, without a majority, we'd need to go beyond the pub.
Yeah, you
outside
could
of
go
the public.
beyond that. It would require what's called a supermajority vote. So if we stay within the tax cap, Mr. Liable, when the public votes on the budget in May, we need a simple majority, one more yes than no.
Yeah.
If we
So-
went above that, I'm sorry, and if we went above that, it would require a supermajority, meaning we would need 60% of the people to vote yes, 40% vote
Okay.
no for that to pass.
So 3.3 was more or less a cap. We've never gone out to a supermajority. We've always kept,
We have never
And-
gone to a supermajority. In
and
fact,
we have to be careful about putting that burden on our public beyond that. So
That's
3.3
correct.
is a cap. And now my understanding, just for clarity, is that because that's only, the tax revenues are just a piece of our revenue. We receive aid
correct.
and other sources. So our total revenue went up 2.87%. It was what I looked at on the website. Does that sound
That's
about right?
probably about right. That year over year budget, I don't have that information in front of me. But we went up from, yeah, that's about right.
So under 3%
Correct.
was our increase in revenue. And so if essentially we have to be careful with as our costs are going up.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, it's really out, like, there's not additional sources of revenue or other things we can be doing. That's because we went to the cap and the other aid and whatnot is kind of where we're at. I just think it's important that the public understands.
Yeah, the only
that,
way
our
for the
revenue
district,
went up 2.87%. It's very hard to get it beyond.
the only way for the district to raise money is to raise taxes. So you'd have to go beyond the tax cap if you wanted to get more revenue. From a basic foundation aid standpoint, this past school year, our foundation aid increase year over year was 2%. We are a district, what's called hold harmless. So, which means that while in the last several years, our enrollment has ticked up, last year, our enrollment flattened. We didn't see an increase. And because we didn't see an increase, the minimum amount based upon the governor's executive proposal and what was passed at the New York State level, the minimum amount of foundation aid that we could receive was 2%. The only way that number goes up is if our enrollment increases. Again, I don't know from a foundation aid perspective what next year might bring, but if our enrollment doesn't continue to rise, I would imagine our foundation aid would remain relatively flat.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Okay, thanks, everybody.
All right.
All right, thanks, Don.
Thanks, Don.
Couple of announcements tonight. We would like to, kind of exciting to bring more youth athletics and youth opportunities to our elementary and middle schools that we've signed an agreement or have an agreement with the Williamsville Junior Football and Cheer. And they're rebranding it to the Sweet Home Army Junior Football and Cheer. They had their first event here this weekend. This is a big boon for a lot of our students who look to play football but didn't have a local opportunity to do so and had to go to Tonawanda or North Tonawanda. So it really reduces a transportation burden, but also the fees are expensive. And the part of the arrangement here is to reduce their fee by 30% for Sweet Home students. So we're excited to bring this opportunity of tackle football and cheerleading to Sweet Home and have our students take advantage of this until they start playing high school football here.
So
at
I
Sweet
had the opportunity to, on Saturday, I attended, and it
good.
was really nice to see that here.
Yeah.
They had a basket raffle, and it was just nice to see that on home ground.
Activity.
It was it's a major goal for our athletic council to open up more youth sporting opportunities for our students as feeder programs to our high school. Football is a strong tradition here at Sweet Home, and not having a youth organization present on our campus has really hurt that pipeline. And so we're hoping that students who are really interested and love the game of football continue to play right through high school. And we think this is a great way to do that. So this was a major goal of our athletic council, and it's nice to check that box for sure.
How many kids did we have?
I don't know. I'll have to see what the numbers are as the registration. I believe they've started already, but we'll work with them and get the number. I know I've talked to the board a little bit about e-bikes and e-scooter safety on campus. And as we approach the school year, I'd like to make a proposal that we add a few items to our code of conduct, and worked with the town of Amherst and the Amherst Police Department on some rules and regulations. I need to learn a lot about this as we see more e-bikes and e-scooters, and unfortunately, we hear about more accidents happening with them, including a student that was not one of ours, but from Clarence, that was killed last year on one of these devices. And so we've had our own students get injured on these, and we've been pretty unregulated up till now. And so in working with APD, I learned the traffic rules around them, and wanted to make the following proposals that, if green lighted by the board tonight, we would communicate out starting this week to our families. So by law, an e-scooter and e-bike, you're not allowed to ride them unless you're 16 years old. So this would eliminate e-bikes and e-scooters that are middle school, which is highly trafficked area anyway. And so even if it was younger than 16 years old, we probably would make that recommendation that we ban them at the middle school, only because Maple Road and the parking lot at the middle school is very, very heavily trafficked, which is another point we'll talk about in a minute. Also, they must obey all traffic laws. We're not allowed to have them on sidewalks as well. So what we would like to propose is that you have to be 16 years old to bring an e-scooter or e-bike to campus. You have to obey all traffic laws and Sweet Home signs. You must wear a helmet when riding on campus. You must park in a designated parking spot. We've worked with Principal Doria and our Buildings and Grounds Department to identify a space in front of district office outside my window that we're going to paint and put some bike racks in there for our students to park their bikes on those racks. And then you must register your e-scooter or e-bike with the senior high school as well, so we know who is bringing them on campus, just like they have to do with their cars. There is a $10 registration fee to get your sticker. Your sticker can be revoked if you violate the rules, and the Amherst Police Department could tow an e-scooter or e-bike if the rules violations continue. So as these devices continue to be more prominent around not only our campus, but on our streets, I think it's important that we take some measures to ensure safety of our students. And then, of course, the other drivers in the parking lot and who's walking as well. So I'd like to make these proposals. We'd like to move forward with them. And I think it's a way to keep our kids safer on these devices.
Dr. Genestri, do parents have to sign off on this, or are kids signing off on this, or what's?
Yeah,
the process?
I believe there's a parent signature on the registration form. Yep.
And who's going to be in charge of, kind of, for lack of a better term, patrolling that
Yep.
this is happening?
So we've noticed online, some of our assistant principals have brought us video of some of the violations, I would say. And, they've addressed them, but there's really not addressed in the code of conduct yet. So people that are outside, and watching this, of course, they've parked by the arch now, and it's blocked a lot of the archway. And so we'll move those bikes into the designated parking area as well, and we'll just keep an eye on it, and then we'll go out to see and make sure they're tagged.
Is this, I know we're voting on the plain language code of conduct today, or is this in there yet or not yet?
Not yet,
Okay.
no. But we wanted to add it in there if the board is okay with that.
And this pertains to all the time that the kids are in camp, like after school.
After school. So one of the problems that we have is the turf, and a lot of students are taking them out on the turf. That is an absolute no-no. There are signs out there now. And so we'll work to identify who's doing that on there, because it really damages the turf. But anytime on campus, just like their car.
I'm fully in support of this. I think it's very important. I know we've probably all had run-ins or near run-ins with people riding these at different points. And I know I have on driving, hiking, biking, and I've almost been run off the road. I've almost hit people that all of a sudden appeared out of nowhere.
Yes.
It's just, there needs to be some control.
Just wondering, in one of our past fairs that we had here, I think it was Amherst Police, had a booth set up with helmets for kids.
Mhm.
I'm wondering if we can do something similar for kids
Sure.
that don't have helmets, maybe check with them to see if we could do a helmet giveaway, so these kids, maybe if they couldn't afford one, at least have something to protect. I'm sorry, Dirk. I didn't mean to-
No, I was just gonna say that at the end of the day, it has to be police, so to speak, or some way to protect the kids from themselves, I guess. So is that gonna be just school personnel enforcing the rules? Is
Yes.
that- Okay.
Yes, yep, just like they would do with cars or any other activity that's happening outside. There are cameras all around campus too that really help in monitoring and securing the facility. So the principals have been asking for some kind of rules and responsibilities around this because they're witnessing
A lot of it, sure.
a lot of wheelies, a lot of weaving in and out of traffic, that sort of thing
Oh,
on
yeah.
campus.
Dangerous.
I know I'm in full support. I think it's just an accident waiting to happen. They go way too fast. And a lot of the students who ride them don't understand the rules of the road yet.
Thank you.
So.
Okay. Another proposal as we start the school year, we've talked a little bit, if you've had a student or a child at the middle school, or if you've driven a bus at the middle school, you know that that's a very chaotic parking lot as well. And so we would like to make the following proposal to give parents a new drop-off location in the back of the building. We've worked with Mr. Shepherd. We've worked with Buildings and Grounds, and Ms. Doria also, we consulted with her on this. And so moving forward, we'd like to keep the buses only area, buses only. And so buses would approach Maple, off of Maple Road and enter the facility, and this arrow right here that you can see on my screen, and maybe you can see on my screen. So the arrow to the bottom right, and then in front of the building would be buses only, and then buses would exit out where that light is right now. Parents would enter near the brickyard, on the side of where the brickyard is, and then drive in the back of the building. And we would have drop off and personnel out in the back where parents could drop off their child if they want to drive. This would actually create a little more room for parents. It's wide enough that you can accommodate 2 lanes of parking and the parking spots in there. And then parents would then circle around the back of the back parking lot and then out that same entrance. We will cone off this area for our buses. However, this door right here to the far, if you're looking at the picture, the far left is where our students with exceptional needs enter, and we would still allow parents to drop off students at this door that are going to our exceptional classrooms. So we believe in working with Scott Kennedy, Emily Morozic, Marissa Doria, Steve Shepherd, that this will alleviate a lot of the congestion in front of the building. It'll also stop kids from weaving in and out of our buses and into traffic at the back of the front parking lot, which happens at dismissal and arrival now. So, parents have been asking for relief. The administration is asking for relief, and we really put a team together to give this proposal a chance, which we think at the very least will stop kids from interacting with traffic in front of the building during arrival and dismissal.
And I just want to clarify, with this new plan, parents will be forced to exit making a right onto Maple and
Yes.
no left-hand turns.
Yes, that's a right only.
It's an inconvenience, but I think it's going to, it's a little trade-off for safety.
Yeah, much safer. I mean, in talking to our bus drivers, this is an issue with kids weaving in and out, with parents weaving in and out. And so the buses will have their own lanes, the parents will have their own lanes. They won't be sharing the lanes or the roads. And I think also this exit right here, having one current middle schooler and an old middle schooler who's at the high school now, sharing this lane with buses and cars is difficult, to say the least. So that with this plan, we eliminate that at this exit right here for buses only.
All good.
So if you're good with that, I will get the communication out. We'll make that change and we'll start a new pattern at the middle school.
Will we have signage for the first day of school?
Yep, we'll signage, cones, people out there. We'll blast it out, social media, My Friday memo. We'll put it on the website, et cetera, et cetera.
At least to help with traffic?
Yes, yep. Okay. About 2 weeks ago, we had a meeting with Amherst, Kenton, and Williamsville as part of a regionalization effort to discuss transportation and route efficiency. One of the issues that, of course, we've been having is we do not have a full roster of drivers. We haven't had that since COVID. And so we've worked, and all of our districts are facing that shortage. They're also facing shortages in terms of route efficiency, hubs, transfers, out-of-district runs with McKinney-Vento students in particular have become very costly and burdensome on districts. And we talked about partnering together to see if we can come up with solutions. And one of the things that kind of took hold in that meeting was the creation of a hub that we would partner with to see if a hub, maybe in a central hub, can help with McKinney-Vento runs where we would drop students off and one district would take students out 1 week on the run and then we would do it another week. So we're going to explore more of the hub idea to create route efficiency and maybe create a couple more drivers on our roads, which are important, as we know, moving forward. So we were asked by the Erie One BOCES to come up with a smaller regional group that of neighbors. And all of our neighbors are very interested in these ideas and moving forward. It was a great meeting. And we really appreciate the superintendents participating, the transportation directors participating as well, including our buildings and grounds peoples to kind of look at route efficiency in the terms of hub and see if it'll work. So they're exchanging numbers and data with each other as we speak. I think we have another meeting coming up in a month or so to kind of review that data and see if this is something that we can partner on.
So timeline for this, maybe end of year?
Maybe end of year. Yeah.
Is it possible that the participating districts all drive the students to the hub and then we contract from the hub to the?
That was definitely talked about as well as a possibility that we could contract from the hub if the drivers aren't available. Yes. Just wanted to announce that we're partnering with APD on active shooter training before school starts in our buildings. So we'll get the message out there to our families as well that we'll be conducting trainings from 8/24. I think they're 8/24, 8/25, and 9/2 and 9/3. And that I know our high school, middle school, and our elementary buildings are working on their schedules now. I will release the schedule probably by Friday once we confirm it with the Amherst Police Department. But each of these buildings will have the active shooter training taking place. So our community is going to see a whole host of officers, probably 30 officers, fire department volunteers, several police fire vehicles on site doing the training. We're working with Captain Persons at the Amherst Police Department. We feel like these are very important in a worst case scenario situation, and it opens the lines of communications with the Amherst Police Department. So we wanted to announce to the board tonight that this is going to take place and that our community will be seeing a presence there, but these are drills. And we'll get the word out through all of our channels as well.
Scott and I were involved in the one, how many years ago was that?
A lot at the
A
middle
lot
school.
of
yeah.
years ago, yeah, and that involved kids. This is not going to involve kids, correct?
Not involve kids. No, this is going to be
Good.
before school starts. So 9/3 will be the last drill before we have students. In part, last year, we talked about kind of reducing our paper output as a cost saving measure and an efficiency measure. And we're floating the idea of electronic report cards for grades 6 through 12 next year. It would provide efficiency, it would also provide, sorry, my thing just went out. Maybe, there it goes. It would also provide real-time access to parents who get their grades through PowerSchool and can see their students in real time as we speak. It also would kind of push parents to engage in our PowerSchool and their portal so they can track their child more aggressively, I would say. And so we talked about the parents that do not have access and how we could reach them to ensure, and working with Lindsay Harrington, we're talking about setting up stations at open houses throughout the year so parents can get, and we'll also communicate, send out their password and login information as well to get them online. But it would save a lot of time in main offices. It would also save a lot on paper, and parents could have access to it anytime they wish. So one of our proposals is to replace the mailed paper format home. It would save on postage as well, and start doing electronic report cards. We didn't want to do that at the elementary level yet. I know as a parent, sometimes we keep those as mementos and stuff. So we thought parents would still want to keep their paper version at the elementary level. I know all of ours are saved at home, so so that was important. So we wanted to start with grades 6 through 12.
I'm wondering if
What
we
does
should.
this do for grading on the teacher's end? Does anything change for them?
No, nope. Same process for the teachers. It's just would a lot less work on their main offices, stuffing envelopes, printing them out and stuffing, and then postage, of course.
I'm just wondering if there might be a way for parents or guardians to kind of opt out if they do want that physical.
We could print one out, they can come in and we can get it to them. for
Right.
sure.
Just, I mean, I know I'm excited for this. I think this is a great idea. I just think that there's gonna, there might
There
be
will
an
be.
outlier
Yep.
or
We'll work with
two,
them.
just to have an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll work with them on that.
People still want to pay.
On Saturday, I had the privilege of attending our African-American back to school backpack giveaway event. Here, there were probably 20 or 30 alumni on campus right in front of district office. And it was a pretty well-attended event. It ran from 10 to 2. I was here and I think the biggest thing about it was the connections that we made with the alumni and their willingness to give back to the school. I met business leaders, real estate moguls. We met athletes that want to mentor, coach kids, that they want to help us in developing our new pathways, especially the finance pathways. that are going to be developed through the Portrait of a Graduate work. And it was just an outstanding event of a group of individuals. They got together on Friday for their reunion and then came to school on Saturday. They gave away backpacks, they gave away school supplies, they had bounce houses, DJ, they gave away clothes. The health services were here as well. And just a way, because Sweet Home did so much for them, they wanted to give back to Sweet Home. And the conversations were absolutely outstanding. I wanted to recognize the group as they really became organized over the past 2 years, and it just continues to grow and grow and grow. And each one of them had a story about how Sweet Home impacted them, from the teachers and the support staff and the counselors, and their administrators, and how they just felt like Sweet Home gave them the right opportunity to succeed, and they want to give back to the district. So I had a meeting with Principal Doria yesterday. I gave her a bunch of phone numbers. I've also followed up with a few people. We had Councilman Davis on site for it. It was just a really great day. The weather held out, and really appreciative to the group for all the donations they made to make a difference for kids. Amherst Police was here and they donated backpacks to give away as well. So just an awesome day and an awesome event.
Very nice.
Hope we continue to really nurture this, because what a great relationship.
Yes. The experiences they have, yeah, they love the school and they want to get back, and it's awesome.
It'd be nice to see them connect and do a joint thing with Chef.
I think they are working with Chef already.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And the Alumni Association itself too.
Yes.
Good.
Yep.
Good.
Nicole Cuss, I see her back there. She was here on Saturday as well, our alumni coordinator to make connections, and just a great group of people. We had our administrative retreat last week. I know I announced to the board that Ready for the Future is our theme. We saw a couple great guest speakers. We had the CEO of Tech Buffalo, and the CEO of Reliant individuals talk to us about where AI is going in the future and how it can improve workflow and around everything from administrators to teachers to support staff, and how it could impact students as well. I think really push the needle in terms of everything from achievement to social emotional supports. So that was a great day. We looked at some educational tools that are out there that teachers can use to capitalize on AI in the classroom in terms of academic achievement, in terms of taking the guesswork out of teaching or differentiating teaching or assessments that they can give, and closing gaps. I mean, we're on the verge of seeing some incredible tools that our teachers and staff can use to really, not only improve academic achievement, but also improve work-life balance for them as well, which I know is always something that we're cognizant of. So there's a lot of great things out there. We talked about academic achievement a lot at the retreat. And I think it was a really good 2 days with the administrators who are definitely ready to start the school year. I want to thank Katie Barrow-Larry for planning the agenda for us. I want to thank Fallon Darian for all the logistics that she put through. We were able to use the Young and Rights offices for free that day. And it's a good place to kind of get off campus and have great conversations with our administrators, supervisors, directors, et cetera. In working with our new board leadership, we started planning out the year. And so we wanted to announce a few things that each board meeting is going to have a theme this year and moving forward, but also that we are going to start our traveling board meetings again. We're going to kick it off November 17th at Maplemere Elementary School to really talk about the capital project in there and inform our community of the construction that's going to be taking place starting in the spring of the 6 new classrooms that are being built that are online on time to start construction in the spring. We thank Maplemere, Mr. Ryan, and the teachers at Maplemere for all the input they've had on from the outside of what the outside of the building looked like to the inside. And we'll really update our community at Maplemere that night on what's taking place. But all of our schools are represented on here. And we have themes on here that we wanted to publish so our community could see, but we'll also make sure these get on our website as well. One of the things that we've been monitoring, and this is the busy season for our central registry. I'm watching in my office, constant flow in and out of central registry this week especially. And so as promised in the spring, we're looking at class sizes and what we're doing to move forward with those. These are 3 areas that we are studying closely in our elementary buildings. And we'll publish the entire numbers on the board packet and our website. But Willow Ridge right now, we started off with 3 sections at Willow Ridge. In the past few weeks, we've had a lot of students enroll in second grade at Willow Ridge, and we are over the threshold that we talked about in the spring by about 4 students in each section. So we are going to recommend, we had a late resignation of a teacher at Heritage in the ENL that we are working with to not replace that one. And then add a section of second grade at Willow Ridge to reduce those class sizes down to about 17 in the second grade level. 2 other areas that we're keeping a strong eye on and working with the principals with, the 5th grade at Maplemere right now is at the threshold. We said 24. We're 1 over in 2 sections, section 1 and section 3 right now. And so we're monitoring and working with the principal, Mr. Ryan, over at Maplemere, and seeing what that is. That actually changed today. And so we're keeping a strong eye on that, and we'll make a move or a recommendation to the board if we have to soon. And then kindergarten at Heritage Heights right now is at 1 or 2 over the threshold. And I worked with Mr. Perry this afternoon as well. We're going to hold that right now because that changed again today as well. And we're going to continue to monitor it probably on a daily basis as we're moving forward. So right now, the other sections are holding strong at the thresholds that we recommended in the spring, but we're going to continue to monitor each section and make recommendations as we see fit, as we promised we would do in the spring.
Can I just ask, when you say hold steady and monitor, at what point would we make that decision?
I think if we start to get
And-
3 or 4 over, then I'll come back to you and say, just like we did at Willow Ridge, and say, it's time. We don't see that reducing at all. And we think that's going to hold.
Because I was curious, I know that a lot changes and a lot changes very quickly. So wondering between about now and the start of school, how often those numbers go down?
They went down today.
Oh, they did. Okay.
So.
Is that typical though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It is typical here at Sweet Home. It's something that we.
Do we lose
Every year.
students at about an equal rate as we gain them this time of
So
year?
last year, I think we had, these are really rough. We had
Sure.
probably in August, about 200 come and go. And then in our enrollment stayed steady. But the August registration is it's crazy. And so every day Lindsay Harrington's updating this for me. And we're seeing a lot of that happening right now.
Okay, so, but you would say that the rate of gaining is about equal to the rate of losing this time of year, based on historical data?
No, I would say 3 years ago, we gained a lot more than we lost. And then last year we were steady, and this year probably about the same.
Okay. I know that these are very difficult decisions to make, especially when our budget is
Mhm.
so tight. So I don't take these decisions lightly. But I know making decisions late in the game can really change so much. I mean, after packets go out, parents and students and teachers think that they're, have this number of students and, especially, I can see, especially from parents, point of view, do you think that your child has, this teacher that they really want, or is in a class with this friend, and then things get changed? I'm hoping that we can maybe figure out some kind of formula that we can come up with in the future so that these decisions can be made before packets go out.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a tough ask, but
Yeah. And it works both ways. I mean, there are some sections that are well below the threshold.
Right.
So do we want to eliminate one of those sections because
True.
it's
yeah.
well below the threshold. So I know, I understand that that's tough. I understand that this is late in the summer.
Mhm.
And I definitely sympathize with that because, you know, if we're adding a section, then your child's in a class that's much lower than what it would be. But if we're eliminating a section, that's a tough one.
Especially
I
if a
totally
teacher might
sympathize.
have to move to a different grade level. You
Yes,
know, hopefully
100%.
we're not putting too much strain on that.
Right.
The only thing I would add to that is that these decisions then stay with us for 9, 10 months.
Yep.
So I'd rather be a few weeks behind and get the right decision than, you know.
Yep.
So it's a balance.
Yep.
I,
Yeah.
I'm just and I do agree with you, to a certain extent. I do think that, you know, I do think that decisions should be made sooner. And hopefully we don't have, hopefully changing them late in the game will be a rarity instead of the norm.
100%, 100%. Yes. I think 2 years, we didn't make any changes last year, if I recall, but 2 years ago, we did add a 5th grade section at Heritage late, but it was much needed at that point. So, and I didn't receive any complaints about
Okay.
that.
I just think, I think it's more than not knowing
Yep.
than the, you know, the yes or no. It's that,
Yep.
you know,
It's-
so.
And I do, you know, obviously have to vet this with the board. And so we haven't had a meeting and, you know, but this is the time now that I can say, yeah, we need an extra section at Willow Ridge.
Excellent.
In July, I did not have that information to make that recommendation.
All right, yeah, I'm wondering, I don't know. I just
It's
think
hard.
at a certain point, once we cross the threshold, if we cross that threshold early, we should make the decision early.
The hard part about that is sometimes through hearsay, we know that somebody's leaving, but they don't actually put the paperwork in until September 1st. So they're in the numbers,
Right.
but we know they're not going to be in the numbers, but we can't guarantee that because paperwork hasn't come through. So there's a lot of that happens as well in the summertime. It's a very hard
And see,
thing
that's
to say a
something,
specific number.
that's
It's a
something I
number.
didn't think of. So I mean, that's, you know, those are something, you know, the other side of things is something to look at
Absolutely.
too.
It just, having gone around this block for 20 plus years, it's so hard to say, this is the number, and when we reach it, we need to add or we need to subtract. There's so much more that goes into it, and it's so hard to understand, and when it's your kid, it's tough. When it's, you know, the teacher friends that we all have, it's tough. It's a hard situation. So I commend you for keeping an eye on it. But we gotta be careful.
Right. I just think in certain situations, we can make that decision sooner.
Yep.
And that's what I'm asking for, really. Not in all situations.
So if you're okay, I'm going to move to add that section at Willow Ridge, and it will have a 0 impact on budget because of we're swapping, basically.
Now, I'm sorry, but taking away the, not replacing that other role, is that going to hurt?
Nope, we're compliant. We're all good. Everything worked out fine based on the enrollment numbers. So we're all set there.
Can you just elaborate a little further? How many are enrolled in the ELA?
I worked with our E&L department and Dr. Kozakowski. She's worked it, so we are absolutely compliant with anybody who needs E&L services are getting those services at the rate they were getting them in their plan. So we're all set there. And we were able to make that switch.
I mean, I'll take your word for it, and I know you don't have
I'll
these
show it to you.
numbers. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I don't have
wondering.
them
I know
on
you
top,
don't
but
have
I'll
the
send it
top
to
of
you.
your head, but I'd like to see them if you don't
Okay.
mind.
And that's what I have for tonight.
Wow.
Okay, any questions related to anything that's been presented, other questions that we haven't asked? All right, then we will move on. We have a number of upcoming events, especially related to beginning of the school year, which includes or some orientations, and we will now move on to open session. Now, we will have two open sessions. This open session is related to topics that are already on tonight's agenda. Is anyone interested in, now I have a list of speakers here, and we're having a second session that's for anything, not necessarily related to what's on the agenda for tonight. Is anybody wanting to speak on any item related to what has been on the agenda? Yep, go ahead. And I'm going to read just very quickly. Okay, the board welcomes participants by district residents, persons having business within the district boundaries, and persons who do business with the Board of Education. All participants must be 16 or older. Speakers must be recognized by the presiding officer, and you must announce your name, address, and group affiliation.
Sorry.
That's okay. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes. Those registering in advance will be called upon first. Those not signed up will speak afterwards. The total time for each public participation period is 30 minutes. Statements should be made to the board president, not individual board members. Participants may not discuss specific individuals or issues that fall under executive session. Participants must abide by Board of Education policy and district code of conduct. The board president has the right to maintain decorum by interrupting or terminating a visitor's comments, requesting an individual to leave, or calling for a recess or adjournment. So go ahead.
Hi, I'm Katie Smizer. I'm a parent and a district employee and at the middle school. And I have a question about the new traffic pattern at the middle school.
Name and address?
Oh.
Or address?
Oh, my address, 4034 Wrench Road, Unit 7 in Amherst. I'm also signed up to speak later, but I have a question about the new traffic pattern at the middle school with safety. So 2 points of concern, I would say. One is that I know some staff parked down where you were, Dr. Dinestri, you were talking about the parents entering. And there are a number of people who cross that road. And so I was wondering if there was any discussion of adding a crosswalk over there. Because, and I say this only because when I've arrived with my children, there's a tendency to go very fast down there. And so I was wondering if there had been consideration given to a crosswalk being put there,
Crosswalk from the,
like by
From-
door 5,
okay,
where we have the nesting goose usually.
okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
I'd be happy to have that discussion and we'll take a look at that.
Okay, so that was my one concern. And my second concern was for the exceptional students who get dropped off. It is often the case that parents who do not have exceptional students will park right by that door and take those. And so I was wondering if that had been addressed as well. Thank you.
Yep.
That was all.
Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other speakers related to tonight's agenda? Go ahead. Oh, it's just making it brighter. Oh. 1 second, we're working on the technical.
I can speak all night, right?
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. My name is Ron Walker. I am also the president of the Sweet Home Service Employees Association. 92 Follette Lane, Tonawanda. And good evening to ladies and gentlemen of the board. Tonight, I am asking for something simple: respect, fairness, and a contract that reflects the value of the work that we do from day to day. Our members are the people that come to the district running.
Excuse me, hold on one minute. This is not on the agenda, so you'll have an opportunity to speak in the next session. Or you can continue, I mean, I'm comfortable with you continuing now, but typically it'd be the second open session that we would have speakers for items not on the agenda.
Oh, okay, I can come back.
Yep, okay.
Sure. No
It'll,
problem.
it'll be like 5 minutes. Just a formality. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, any other speakers related to agenda items? Okay. All right, now we're going to move on to items for voting. First, for new business, this is item 9 on the agenda, special education. We have class placements, preschool class placements. Any questions about those?
No, I just, lightest month in a long time, 26 pages, but again, kudos to all our support staff for our kids with IEPs and 504s. It always amazes me the amount of dedication that goes into each one of these meetings and each one of these kids. So again, thank you to all of them.
Can I recognize Mary Ann Jason for the work she does on that?
Enjoy reading
Because
them.
One of the, so,
Thank
kind of
you.
going back on what I said earlier, but I do depend on what you see and whether you see something that should be brought to our attention. So I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Monthly financials, any questions? Tax rates? Any questions or discussion? Item D, disposal of obsolete property. Item E, committee appointments. That's the safety committee, the wellness committee. Item F is the code of conduct. Item G is the approval of the district safety plan.
Can I ask one question on the safety plan? I think I read it's 170 pages. Is that correct?
Long one.
So how, 172? So, or 270?
75 or
It's,
something like that.
it's significant
So-
because it
so-
includes, there's several, it's a district-wide safety plan. It includes building level safety plans for all of our buildings.
Yeah.
Includes a cybersecurity response plan. It includes AED plans. So it's significant,
It's
yes.
significant. So you wonder day to day if they have to refer to this manual often. That's my question, but I understand that it's needed.
It's a requirement. We have to file it with the state education.
I'm sorry.
It's a requirement that we have to file it with the state education department every October.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Okay, continuing item H, purchasing cooperative. And then we're going to skip item I just for a minute here because, and item J, 403B employee option. Any questions on those items for voting?
This is on the consent agenda, everything but I, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. It is kind of nice to give employees a Roth contribution option. Anyways, just a comment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve?
To move for consent agenda on items A through H and J.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, I also want to point out, item I is the first reading on board policy. Some changes were the policy committee is recommending on regular board meetings and rules, the agenda format, and the administration of the budget. Are there any questions, comments, or discussion on those items?
The parliamentary rules there, I thought that Mr. Johnson provided possible option there or reflection on our, maybe I'm getting that confused with Robert's rules, parliamentary procedures, and I think in that reading, if I can remember it right, allowing speakers even from outside the district is a recommendation.
Parliamentary procedure has nothing to do with that part. That's the stuff that the State School Boards Association,
Right.
actually, and it depends on, it's a different opinion. State School Boards Association has one, and the Committee on Open Government has a different opinion.
Okay, it had something to do with freedom of speech, so to speak. So, but okay, we're not going to amend or change anything in our own policy here. This is just the red lines in the document.
They're not in there. That's a different policy for the,
Okay, all right. Parliamentary procedures, regular board meetings, rules. Okay.
Yeah.
Can you use your mic? I can't hear you, Jer. I can't hear you.
No. Oh, my, no.
we have a totally different policy
back on now.
that
Yeah.
addresses public comment.
I didn't hear you.
You see anything in there we need to address? I didn't see anything.
Public comment in the year? No, everything that we've done, I think is fine.
Okay.
Any other comments or questions related to that? Okay. All right, then we are going to move on to
We
information.
need to make a motion to approve item I, policies first reading.
Okay, okay. Can I have a motion to approve item I?
Moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Second.
Aye.
Aye.
Again, this is the first reading, so it
Right.
gets voted on next time. Okay, thank you.
Exactly.
Just
Informational items. Do any board members have informational items they would like to share?
I would just like to share one thing, how proud I am that Scott had mentioned that the proposal we made for the New York State Convention got very little pushback.
None.
Beautiful. So I'm just proud our name is on that Sweet Home is recommending. It's a recommendation that our kids get food during the summer also, and we supported it, and now NISBA will look at it and see if they support it to bring it forward. So thank you, Scott, for your help with that.
And that was the one thing I was going to talk about is a couple weeks ago, I participated in the first meeting of the committee that goes through all the resolutions for the annual business meeting for the State School Boards Association. And it was actually a relatively short meeting. We have a lot less resolutions than we've had in the last couple of years. We're anticipating a much shorter business meeting, we hope. And again, there was only, I think there was only three, I wrote it all down somewhere, but I think there was only three resolutions that weren't going to be recommended to the body to be voted on. And they've got the ones that weren't, those districts have a chance to put a rebuttal in, but they went through and ours was actually early in the list. So make sure we get to it in the agenda too. That also helps. But there wasn't even any discussion. Everybody looked at it. Yep, we're good. And on to the next vote.
We should be
So it was-
proud
yeah, it
that
was
we brought
unanimous
something
vote.
like that forward. I think that's great for our district to have our name on that. And thank you for your help. with that.
I agree. Thank you.
So
Any other board members have anything they'd like to share?
Do we want to talk a little bit about the August graduation? I thought that was pretty special.
Yeah.
The mother that spoke at the end was a little emotional for me, but she spoke well, and it really is, you should be proud of the fact that we deliver changing lives, I guess is the best way to say it. So anyways, I like that. I really enjoyed that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I'll have a slide at the next meeting with the names of the August graduates. It goes up to the last second, so we added one today, actually, to the list. So we were at 7 this afternoon, and it was a cool ceremony, and I'll have a slide with their names at the September 1st meeting.
Good. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, then we will now move on to our second open session. Now, before we do that, I do have a statement that I am going to read from the board. I know that we have a number of service employees here, and we just did want to make this statement. Our service employees are at the heart of what we do at Sweet Home Central School. They are extremely valued by the board, the district office, and our entire school community. They keep our district safe, and their services ensure our students can come to school and focus on their learning. Our district team and the leadership of Sweet Home Service Employees Association agreed to a tentative deal. We believe that the deal that both parties tentatively agreed upon is fair, financially outpaces service employee agreements at other school districts in our region, reflects the hard work of the members of the unit, and is what Sweet Home can afford. With that said, we have asked the district team to get back to the table with the leadership of the Sweet Home Service Employees Association. We know that those conversations have already started. We will continue to work together to bridge the gap and prepare a collective bargaining agreement that addresses the needs of both parties. Okay, so we're going to move to our second open session. And I know we have a number of people who have signed up. So Ron, go ahead. Yeah.
Again, I'll say that our members are the people who keep this district running. We're the bus drivers and transportation staff who safely bring the students to and from school each day. We are mechanics who make sure that those buses are safe and dependable. We are the food service employees that prepare the meals safely and efficiently, so our students are ready to learn. We are the classroom aides who support our teachers and help children with everyday tasks that build confidence and life skills. We are the secretaries who keep our school offices running smoothly and assist the parents, students, staff, and administrators. We are the nurses who care for the students as they become sick, injured, or simply need comfort and reassurance during the school day. We are also the grounds and maintenance employees who maintain our buildings, athletic fields, parking lots, and walkways. Whether it's mowing the athletic fields in the summertime or cleaning snow and ice in the winter, will help provide a safe environment for everyone in our schools. While our jobs are different, of course, we all share a common purpose: serving the students of the district. The work we do every day allows learning to happen. We take pride in that responsibility, and we remain competent to give our best to the children and families that we serve. In return, we are asking for fair wages and fair contract that recognizes the contributions that the essential services we provide. Members of the board, we the people who support the mission statement of the district, while teachers educate in the classrooms, every day we show up to make learning possible. We show up for the students who depend on us. We show up for the parents who trust us. And of course, we show up for the schools that rely on us. We transport, we feed, we support, care for, and maintain the product that people and the facilities that make education possible. We're not asking for recognition through words alone. We're asking for recognition through action. Respect is demonstrated by how people are treated. And the fair contract is a recognition of this respect. We deserve fair and equitable contract that reflects the value of our work. The dedication we bring to our jobs and the crucial role we play in the success of the district. We deserve a fair contract. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Okay, thank you. Now, I'm going to go through the list first. And the first on the list is Donna Dayford.
I'm
And
sorry, Mr. President.
Yep.
Just a quick question. I attended a recent board meeting and they didn't allow clapping. We're okay with clapping here at Sweet Home, are we not?
I'm okay with clapping.
I'm okay.
Thank you. I really liked it, so
Yes.
I'm all right with it. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Donna.
town of Amherst, by the way.
My name is Donna Dayford. My
Sorry, go
address
ahead.
is 26 Jefferson Drive in Lockport. I am a teacher's aide in the life skills classroom here at the high school. And I am also the Service Employees Association treasurer. The Sweet Home Service employees have come tonight to voice a message. We are the foundation of our school system, and we deserve a fair wage, a realistic contract for the next 4 years. But most of all, we are seeking respect for who we are and the jobs we do. The 408 plus service employees and the jobs we do are often overlooked by administration and the district. Did anybody notice how all of this got set up tonight? It's always set up for you, but it's the custodians. They are the ones who do this service for us. And that's what service employees do. We're the behind the scenes sometimes, but we get the job done. But the people who do notice us are the students. They're the ones who know all the custodians, know who to go to if you need something. They know all the food service staff. They see the aides and they say hi, they ask us for things, we help them whenever they need it. They know which clerical staff member to go to if they need something important, because that person will get the results. And the ones who take the buses, they know their drivers and the aides. These are the people who have built meaningful relationships with our students. Isn't that why we're here? For the students. Back to the respect. A personal example of showing disrespect by administration for the job I do and the person I am is, should an administrator who rarely spends time in the classroom observing the aides, working with the students, complete the annual examination, the annual evaluation for me? So we have an administrator that completed an annual evaluation for me. That person never came into the school room, never knew who I was working with, yet that was their job. They did it at the end of the year. They checked off their list. And that document goes into my permanent record. Now, I'm not going to say anything about what the document said, other than I totally disagreed with it. That person on the evaluation, that person was supposed to know and rate me on my job knowledge, on my work performance, the quality of my work, and the personal qualities that I bring to my job. This is all listed on the annual evaluation. How can all of this input happen without the input of our teachers or our peers? This person just went and checked off things, never wrote a comment of why they chose their answer.
Donna, we did hit the 3 minutes. I just
Oh,
want to
okay.
be fair to everyone, make sure everybody else gets an opportunity. So you
Okay.
have you want to wrap up?
Yeah. We just wanted to say that, talk is cheap, actions are where we're at. So since we're the foundation, any cracks in the foundation that could be arising, We need to get those taken care of. And let's use respect as our bonding agent to get these cracks filled so we can have a stronger foundation.
Thank you, Donna. Next is Joseph Rice.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Joseph Rice. My address is 161 Park Avenue, Lockport, New York. I work food service and bus aid. My primary concerns are about food service. Right now, our inability to remain appropriately staffed is leading to a number of significant safety issues that the remainder of us have to try and so far have succeeded in catching, but it's deteriorating quickly. Please provide us a fair contract so we can get better staff. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Joseph. Next is Jonathan Markley.
Hello, my name is Jonathan Makeley. I'm a community member at 5 Durham Drive. And I wanted to speak and ask a bit about the in regards to the construction work that's going on along the Sweet Home Road. As you know,
Jonathan, can you just speak up? I just want to hear everything you're saying.
okay, yeah. Thank you. I was going to ask in regards to the work that's going along Sweet Home Road. As you know, the town is putting in that new pipe between the substations along Sweet Home Road. You have quite a bit of the sidewalks dug up along in front of the high school, and I was wondering whether the school has gotten any information about planned timeline for that work, as to whether the things will be in good enough condition for when the school semester starts, so whether that might impact transportation for the high school and when we might expect for the sidewalks to return. Thank you.
You want to take that one, but
Sure.
we're on a timeline and it's on time, but I'll let Mr. Feldman
Sure.
elaborate.
So the general contractor, Catco Construction, I actually talked to their foreman this afternoon. So the construction is impacting, obviously, in front of the high school. What they did today, the main driveway at the signal in the high school, they've laid asphalt there. So that driveway is just about done. The remaining sidewalks, curb work, and the other 3 driveways, they'll start the sidewalks on Monday in Report Concrete on Monday with sidewalks and curbs. So hopefully by not this coming Monday, but the next Monday, that work will be done. They'll move beyond all of the driveways. All the driveways will be reopened, and then they'll move down with the end game. They'll end up just under the underpass of the 990. From that standpoint, they've spent the better part of the summer here. I would imagine, and I don't know this from a timeline perspective, but that work will continue into the school year down that way and hopefully not have too much of a traffic impact. But in terms of safety for our buses and for our kids out front on the sidewalks and with driveways, we'll be ready to go for the first day of school.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. And next on, we have Diane Schuler. It's, I need reading glasses probably pretty soon.
Hello, my name is Diane Schuler. I live at 129 Hillcrest Road, Tonawanda. I don't know, can you hear me? I have worked at Sweet Home as a special education aide for 32 years. Before I became a Sweet Home employee, I moved into the district in 1970, and I became a proud Panther. My 2 children have attended Sweet Home as well as myself, and in a few weeks, my 4 grandchildren will be entering 3 of the school buildings. Sweet Home has always been a unique community, including everyone, From an early age, most of my 32 years of employment, I felt Sweet Home was a large family. Everyone looking after each other, everyone caring for one another and working together. The past few years, this has changed, and there has been a disconnect. A business aspect, not a family, not a community anymore. I believe the service employees feel this the most. You will hear tonight about our jobs and what we do as service employees. Hopefully you know most of them already. I would like to remind you that we don't just care for the students at Sweet Home. We also work to care for everyone, for our teachers, the administration, the district employees, and all of you sitting up there. We are the ones who clean the bathrooms that you use. We clean the offices that you work in. We plow and shovel the snow so you can get into school safely. In fact, this was mentioned earlier, but in fact, the Sweet Home Service employees set up this room tonight for your meeting, and they will take it down long after you leave in your home. Do you know what a starting wage for a Sweet Home, for Sweet Home is for a cook, a cleaner, a hall monitor, the messenger, a clerk typist, a bus monitor, food service, or a special education aide? It is $16.48. That is just 48 cents above minimum wage. Within my 32 years with this district, I have done everything that was asked of me. I have traveled to other districts to help our students, getting on a bus before our school's lights were even on. I even went to college one year with a student. I worked 10 hours a day in an after-school program with students who couldn't handle the high school or the Ready Academy. I developed an enrichment program for a student who couldn't sit still in a classroom. I ran PE. I'm almost done. I ran PE classes for a student in a closet off of the middle school gym. This was before they had a weight room. I worked till 6 p.m. proctoring Regents exams. I have fed and changed students from the ages of 5 to 21. I have been hit, bit, spit at, and had my hair pulled out more than once. I have worked at Sweet Home for 32 years, and I don't even make $32 an hour. We are asking for fair wages. We are looking for respect for the work we do. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Katie, did you want to speak again? Go ahead.
Again, my name is Katie Smizer. I live at 4034 Wrench Road. I'm a parent and an employee of the district at the middle school. And I originally signed up to speak on this. I am coming as someone who knows a large number of people in this room in various roles: board members, assistant superintendents, superintendent, community members, colleagues in middle school and in the high school where I worked, service employees who work in the schools that my children attend. And I am coming to offer, I'm wearing pink because these things can get tense. And so pink is calming, right? I'm coming to offer a suggestion as we move forward, and that we look to the habits that we teach our children, that we teach the children in this district, that we ask the staff to hold ourselves to, the 7 habits. And I think it's particularly enlightening going forward. Habit 4, 5, and 6. Habit 5 is seek first to understand and then to be understood. And what I'm asking of my colleagues, of the board, and of the administration is that we take the moment to pause and to listen to the emotions behind the words. Because there is intent, everyone has a story. The board has a story. My colleagues have a story. I have my own story. And together, we will move forward. We move this district forward. I believe strongly in this district. I believe strongly in my colleagues. And yes, I believe strongly in you, the board and the administration. I do believe that we have people's hearts in the right place. But I am asking that everyone recenter and remember not only to seek first to understand, but then to think win-win, to find the third way. And to remember that we can only succeed when we all work together, because it's not an us versus them. We all hold multiple roles in this district. I know several board members who hold multiple roles, including parents, parents, and your roles on the board and in the administration. And I want us all to focus and remember that when we synergize, we can make this district even better than it is now. We can make it a place where people want to come and learn, live, send their children to school, and yes, work in not just in a teacher capacity, but in a service capacity as well. Because we as a district believe that everyone has dignity. And so I am reminding us all to recenter, to look at the habits, and to go forward with clear eyes to see how we can make Sweet Home the best district it can be. Thank you.
You. I think we still have,
We still have, it's like about 11 minutes.
okay. Are there any others? We've gone through the list. Are there any other speakers who would like to, or anyone else who would like to speak? Go ahead.
Bless you.
Hi, my name is Kristen Puff. I live at 55 Roundwood Court, and I am a nurse at Willow Ridge Elementary School. I'm standing here to share my perspective as a Sweet Home alumna and now a Sweet Home school nurse. Sweet Home has a very special place in my heart. I attended Sweet Home as a student, and my mother was also a nurse at Sweet Home many years ago. She was the inspiration behind my decision to become a nurse, and I always hoped that one day I would have the opportunity to join the nursing team at Sweet Home. Since becoming a Sweet Home nurse, I have witnessed how significantly school nursing has changed, particularly since the COVID-19 pandemic. We have seen a substantial increase in student visits to our health offices, as well as an increase in the complexity and number of medical needs among both students and staff. Our responsibilities continue to grow, yet we often do not have adequate support to meet these demands. At the elementary level, we don't have substitute nurses or support staff available to relieve us, even for necessary breaks. At the middle school and high school levels, the volume of students and medical needs can also make it difficult for nurses to take their breaks. Despite these challenges, we continue to show up every day with dedication, compassion, and a commitment to providing the best possible care for our students and supporting our coworkers. We take great pride in the work we do, but the demands placed on school nurses today are greater than ever. We would like to see our compensation reflect the level of responsibility, expertise, hard work, dedication, and compassion that school nurses bring to Sweet Home each day. We believe that recognizing the evolving role of school nurses through appropriate compensation and adequate staffing support is an important investment in the health and safety of our students and school community. I am proud to be a Sweet Home graduate, proud to follow my mother's footsteps, and proud to serve the students and families of the district. I hope our voices as school nurses will be heard, and that meaningful consideration will be given to the challenges we face and the value we bring to our schools every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak?
Hi, my name's Dave Schmidt. I live at 180 Pinewoods in the town of Tonawanda. I'm a 30-year employee of the district in the transportation department as a bus driver. I think this is the first time that I can recall, and somebody may correct me if I'm wrong, that we have not agreed to a contract. It's been years. I can't recall. Every time we sat down with the district, the bargaining group, and we settled it. So my encouragement is we're all on the same team. We all want to go in one direction. And I know how morale can be when people feel slighted or they didn't get what they wanted. I don't even know what the sticking points are, to be honest with you. I wasn't involved with the negotiating team or anything. All I would say is let's communicate, let's talk, let's work together, let's try to solve it. We need to get it solved to go forward. We don't want service employees, regardless of who they are, not to be heard and to be understood. I realize both sides. I'm in business myself, so I understand money. I get it. But somehow we got to find a way to make it work. So that would be my encouragement. I think the bargaining unit wants to talk. I would think in good faith, the district people want to talk. My encouragement is let's talk, let's get it settled, because I've been here 30 years, so it's not a bad place to work. And a lot of these folks have been here a long time too. So let's continue to move forward, refocus, regroup, find out what the issues are and get it worked out. Thank you.
I just want to say, Dave, we met this morning, actually. The lines of communication are open. They will remain open, and we have another session for September 1st. So talking is moving forward.
Anyone else like to speak?
You can speak anytime you'd like.
Any open session? Yeah. Would you like to speak? Okay.
Good evening. My name is Dan Mazzola. My address is 141 Paul Drive, Amherst, New York. I came in tonight really not with any intention of speaking, but I guess I've been a part of the union from early on. I'm going to be starting my 4th year with Sweet Home real soon. Before that, I was a cook for 10 plus years in restaurants all across this district. I often didn't feel appreciated, but I did it for my family. I have 3 children that are going to be in Sweet Home now. 2 have been going for a while. My son starts at Heritage Heights in a few weeks. And like I said before, I often felt unrecognized, unappreciated, but I always felt like I did my best. And, you know, I didn't need to be recognized to be appreciated. I just had to feel like I was doing the right thing. Ever since COVID happened and I'm not a cook anymore, I totally switched careers and now I'm a bus driver. It still seems kind of unbelievable to me that my career would change so drastically, but I'd like to say that I've never been more proud and I've never liked my job more. And I never really felt connected to this community until I took on this job. I've lived here with my family for like 10 plus years. And it was like go to work, go home. I didn't think about it. But ever since I became a bus driver for Sweet Home, and most of these people I still don't know, or I'm bad with names, but I know that more than anything, when I went to that meeting and I saw so many people dissatisfied, I felt like I had to step up and do something. I don't want to speak up, but I feel like I have to, because just like I'm getting up every day and doing what I got to do for my family, I have a second family too with Sweet Home. And whether they realize it or not, I view them as family and I respect them and the work that they do. And I think they deserve to be heard. And I'm not saying that anyone here is actively not hearing them, but I feel like I have to stick up for them just because I know so many of them. I know they work hard and I hate to see so many people upset. You know, I got to make my own family happy, but I want to try to make them happy too. So whatever we can do to make that happen, I would really appreciate it. And thank you very much for your time. Thank you.
3 minutes. Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Cheryl Sharia. I live at 132 Pilgrim Road in Tonawanda. I am a 1983 graduate from Sweet Home. I have been here for 15 years. I left another school district to work here. Sorry, I get alpha clubbed, sorry. My husband works here after he lost his job after 36 years. I told him to come here. He's working here now. My oldest daughter has been here for 5 years. We all need a fair wage. We all know food has gone up. Insurance has gone up. Gas has gone up. Mortgages have gone up. Rent is outrageous. Cars are outrageous. We are just trying to get by. We should have the same respect for raises. Our steps got taken away. I was just in line for that big step. So after being here for 3 years, I was making 25 more cents than a new employee. I have retirement looking me in the eyes very soon. Well, 5 years, but that's soon enough. But my daughter, who has been here for 5 years and is in her early 30s, that's who I'm mostly concerned about. I want her to be able to afford rent, to afford a car, to afford a mortgage. We need more than the minimal amount that was offered to us. We know cost of living is way over that. And to me, with all due respect, it's kind of a slap in the face. We have to get by. And this is our job. This is our career. And if we don't get, I'm not talking about a 20% raise. That's outrageous. But with insurance going up also, it's just going to be next to impossible for a lot of people. That's it. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Hi, my name is Tina Reich. My address is 89 Hartford Road in Amherst, New York. I wasn't really planning on speaking, but I'll make this quick. As part of the custodial cleaning staff, I think people need to be reminded of all the work we have done. I've worked at every single building in the district. I've cleaned many of the buildings by myself on at least 40 occasions. That's probably like 15 bathrooms, several offices, a library, locker rooms, and probably maybe 30 to 40 classrooms. And like I said, I've worked every single building in the district, including the high school and the middle school. The custodians and the cleaners need recognition. We do need extra help. The reason I've worked by myself in the buildings is because people were off and we were shorthanded and nobody comes. And I've got to clean the kitchens. I have to open doors for parents and teachers and faculty and staff, activities that go on. I've done it all. I've helped set up for meetings, take stuff down, throw things, here, there, everywhere. We're doing it all. And we needed to, I can honestly say, I can't say, especially when I've cleaned all those buildings all by myself, that I felt much respect, and I never did. And when it gets very sadistic, when you have to realize that you're working till almost 2 a.m. just to get the basics and get out the door while the parking lot lights are off and it's pitch black, and you see an 18-wheeler parked in the parking lot. It's like, well, there's nothing I can do. I just my dogs are aching and I gotta get the garbage out, and hopefully I remember to shut every window and check all the exits and everything else. So being treated fairly is very important to the cleaning and custodial staff and all that's involved, including, a fair contract and just being treated with respect. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. We're at the 30-minute time limit. Just want to check, is there anyone else who wanted to speak? Okay.
President, I just want to interject with one quick thing here as we go along. I would like to ask that we hold a moment of silence for those of you who don't already know, and many of you might. Barb Rucker, who was a member of your unit, passed away. And I know she'll be sorely missed. She's someone that I worked with when she was at Glendale. She helped us out with the PTA and everything else. And if we could just take a moment of silence to recognize Barb. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. I do want to just make a quick comment. First of all, I want to say that I'm sorry if anybody ever felt not respected. I know that every board member here respects all of you and all of the hard work that you're doing. And my father, Mike Leibel, worked here for 17 years. In fact, he passed away a year ago this week. And I know something somebody mentioned that really stuck with me is they said, you know, the students all know who you are, and the students all respect, you know, the work you're doing and what you're doing for them. And that was something I did always recognize. You know, I'd be out at Home Depot, let's say with my dad or wherever it might be, and you know, he'd run into somebody. He was bus aide, and the kid would always say, "Hey, Mr. Mike. Hey, Mr. Mike." So I on a personal level, I just want you to know that, you know, I have a deep appreciation for everything you do. My dad did it for 17 years. I know all the board members here have a deep appreciation and respect for what you do. And that's why we're asking, you know, the administration in the district office to work hard with your leadership team to come to an agreement. I know we did that once. We thought we had a good agreement, but we're asking, you know, to sit back down and keep the conversation and things moving forward. So thank you all. I think you all did a great job. You're very respectful. I appreciate that. Anything else?
I just want to piggyback off of what Mr. Leibel said. I know, you know, we wouldn't be up here without you. I wouldn't be able to do my job without you. And we do respect you. We are in a process. Unfortunately, you know, we thought we had a deal in place, and both sides signed off on that deal. You didn't vote in favor of it. We continue the process. We will continue the open lines of communication. We'll try to find common ground with that. You know, we have tried to treat the service employees with a respectful contract. I know past 4 years with good raises in that contract, raises that were #1 in the region. And we are proposing raises that are going to beat the region again. And so what we talked about with the leadership today was to talk to you. If you want to see what your proposal was and how it would impact you, come talk to us, because we will show you what that was. And we want to make sure that the lines of communication are open. Some of you that are newer to the unit got larger raises than just what was published in the contract and what you may have seen. And we want to show you that. We'll show you the numbers. So come to us. We'll talk to you. The lines of communication are open. We have a meeting scheduled for September 1st, and we're happy to keep those lines open. So if you want to see it, it's open to you. Yep. Thank you.
Anything?
Thank you for your time.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. Well, thank you.
I just want to add real quickly, thank you for those who spoke out today. Just a year ago, I was on that side, and I know how difficult it is to get in front of them and speak. So just thank you for speaking.
All right, we have a few more minutes. You're welcome to stay. If some of you need to leave, we understand. We'll probably only be about 5 to 10 more minutes of left in this part of the meeting.
No?
You're welcome to stay. I just know it's getting late for everyone.
Okay. Thanks.
Hey, thanks. Oh.
Very well said, Mike. Very well said.
Whoever's got
Very
it,
good. I think this is.
Doing well. How about you? It's going good, yeah.
This, I think.
128. I know. It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah. My daughter is buried my son in that. Yeah. So, we'll see.
My son.
I thought it was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, perfect.
They do things a little different than we did. Yeah. Yeah, my daughter. got
Okay,
married about
I'd
5
like to
years.
get the meeting, I'd like us to continue on, everyone.
We'll see how it goes.
For
Yeah.
that close.
It's good to see you. Take care.
Okay, and we are moving on to item 12 on the agenda, personnel. And this is teaching and administrative. And then service. And so I'm looking for a consent agenda to approve. First, any questions? I'd like a consent agenda to approve personnel item 1, teaching and administrative, and item 2, service.
Mr. President, I'll make a motion for that consent agenda and those items.
So moved. Or something.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstain?
No.
Okay, that motion carries. And a motion to move to executive session to discuss the employment history of particular individuals as well as collective negotiations. We will not be returning.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Hi.